It's not like Drake music not hitting the same. It's just the same. You feel me? Has he lost the sauce? Is he lost in the sauce? Is everything being blown out of proportion? Drake not going nowhere. I mean, how Mariah Carey not going nowhere, or Stevie Wonder not going nowhere. We ain't even got R. Kelly up out of here for real. If enough people like what you're doing, or even like what you did enough, you'll never really be irrelevant. I don't agree with Drake disappearing for 6 months or not rapping anymore at all. That's crazy. That seems to be the popular suggestion from people who are not Drake. I haven't talked about Drake versus Kendrick on this channel. It's 19 million other videos, G. There's nothing more I can add to that conversation. I'm cool. Thanks for the memories. I do want to talk about the aftermath of what he wrote down. I want to know what his fourth quarter gonna look like. Can't figure out why he's not going anywhere. Do the likes, do the subs. I want to know what people mean when they say they want mature raps from Drake. I mean, if we're talking about like just like deep introspective, like he gives us that. I ain't gonna hold you. He gives us that, right? He gives us timestamps every now and again and really be rapping. Like, bro lets us know exactly where he at what time and goes crazy for like 5 minutes. He did Scary Hours 3 and everybody wanted him to rap and he rapped and niggas didn't care. So it's just like, I guess there's no incentive for him to take the advice of whoever's not fucking with him because he has plenty of people fucking with him. When he dropped 100 gigs, right? Them songs that's on 100 gigs wouldn't have been enough for him to come back if he would have did like a little hiatus. There was no way he could have took 6 months off and then come back with the Lotto joint or the Thug and 21 joint, and it wasn't gonna hit. You feel me? First off, let's talk about 100 gigs, because as a rap nerd, as someone who likes behind the scenes footage, beat breakdowns and shit like that, I was totally not interested. I feel like if he was going to do a hiatus, coming back with 100 gigs would have been the way to do it. Just drop that first after like 6 months. It's a cool idea. It's just the timing of it was just not appropriate because you didn't take a break, bro. But yeah, no, mature raps, like he can do that. He's done that. The problem is it just doesn't really relate to you. I think that's one of the biggest problems with Drake right now, is that he don't really relate to us. He don't really relate to the average fan. You feel me? Like Drake's life is just completely different than the average nigga. And this could be, completely fabricated, but in the music, it sounds like, yeah, he's got a whole lot of money, but it's annoying. He can't trust none of the niggas around him. He can't trust none of the hoes around him. Like that low-key sounds terrible. That sounds terrible to me. But you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure he enjoys his life and would think my life is terrible. But again, most of us can't relate to that, bro. Like, I don't think the subject matter that people are looking for from Drake is ever gonna come because he has no relation to it. He's not gonna give you black man's plight, bro. Like, I don't want to hear that from Drake. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to hear that from Drake. I don't take Drake for a reader. I'm sure he reads his contracts and shit like that. I ain't gonna hold you. I mean, Kendrick seems like a nigga that, even though he ain't never been to jail, seems like a nigga that just sits in his cell and read all day. But I mean, that could also not be true. I think there may be label obligations, not in the way people think, like he's in some type of slave deal. I think that there are demands and stipulations that are in those deals that require him to continue working. Again, there may be profit sharing. There may be an incentive for him to continue to do as many features as he's been doing. Or it could just all be fucking fun. Why not? Because when you really think about it, he could also be trying to make us forget about the battle at all and just say, hey, look, it's been business as usual. If you look at Drake's release history in the past few years, it's been a project or two every year. And he's been pretty consistent and in our face, which, I don't know. Is that a problem? It was part of the fatigue for me. It's absolutely part of the appeal for some people. He's carrying the industry on his back.
Daddy Drake is just giving us more.
Like, that's what people want from him. And that's the consensus that he's getting. And that's a good thing, because those people are going to continue his career and continue his legacy. Even if he does fade off into just oversaturating the market with just terrible music, some people still gonna fuck with it. Somebody somewhere is going to fuck with it, bro. It's Drake. I'm more than likely gonna play successful again in my lifetime. I'm more than likely going to shit. I like some of the newer shit. I like No Face. I liked it better with just the 4 bars or the 2 words from Playboy Cardi over and over again. It's decent. And when we look at Drake's fourth quarter, obviously he's letting us know out the gate he's not slowing down. He's not going nowhere. When you look at the latter part of his career, he's not going nowhere. You know what I mean? And when you also look into his material, it's probably not gonna go nowhere. G, it's definitely gonna be the same. Pixar is giving us the same movie over and over again. G, the Big Mac is gonna be the same over and over again. It is what it is, and that's okay. There are plenty of rappers that we hold up and celebrate. Like Vince Staples goes on record and tells us that he don't really give a shit about rapping for real anyway. It's his fucking job, and I ain't mad at it. It is what it is. Do I think that he's absolutely capable of making something that's considered, I guess, a high concept, some high concept art piece? You feel me? He's absolutely probably capable of it, and we may get it. It may happen on just some, all right, I did everything else, let's just do that to shut y'all up. But again, Scary Hours 3 happened, and I didn't give a fuck. So, oh, right. So YouTube has a feature, right, where you can upload a bunch of thumbnails and they'll cycle through whichever one the algorithm likes more. It's kind of like how Netflix will, if you black, Pulp Fiction gonna have Samuel L. Jackson on the thumbnail, and if you're a pilot, it'll have John Travolta on the thumbnail. But yeah, let me know which one the algorithm gave you and which one you're actually fucking with. This is number 1. This is number 2. This is my personal favorite. And this is number 3. This is more like the traditional YouTube thumbnail. I could have added some teardrops, but it looked like his ass is already finna cry. Let me know which one you was rocking with more, which one you actually got. Do the likes, do the subs.